what is this? We're right back into the game. There was never a pause to begin with. You didn't see it. We just, time skipped a little bit. It's like one of those filler episodes where you just go right back into the game and have some fun. And this is exactly what we're doing here. And boom. That wasn't 10 minutes. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. That was just a commercial break brought to you by, the commercials that came up. Maybe there was cereal in there. Maybe there was like other things. I have no idea. Felt up against Penguin Squad. Will the Waddle win? I love the word Waddle. And Felt. Well, let's see what they can do. To remind you guys, look at the top of your screen. See the draft in front of you. And remember that we both said that they were good drafts. I totally said that during the draft.
Yeah, there's only good drafters in NA DPC.
That's what I agree with. Only good drafts all the time. And we never even made it to the horn. Look at this. You're back into the game, folks. Ready to go. And
missed nothing.
You missed absolutely nothing. Arms is going to be playing the TA. I'm happy for that. With Shu on that Crystal Maiden. He was part of our player comparison. I'm excited to see the Crystal Maiden with this Beastmaster after you hyped it up in the panel.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they get similar results here. The Drow Ranger's like a good hero to kind of keep her distance, paired with a melee support in the Tusk, who can be quite annoying. A lot of pressure on East, though, because I think the Tusk is the one who's kind of in most danger in this lane. The Beastmaster CM have a ton of kill threat between the two of them.
You say going with the Boots of Speed first, so just quickly into the boots. Oh, look at that. Where is Kid? Kid is just in between the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, Shu's getting run down. There was a tag team. There was some frost arrows. There's a first blood for Issei. And Shu goes down. I guess the Shu is on the wrong foot.
SF, 4-2 on the first wave. Having a great start versus the Queen of Pain. Bottom lane also off to a great start. I was kind of watching it to see if they're going to dominate again the CM Beastmaster, and they messed up with using the Nova and not getting the last. That's 2 range creep in a row that just got denied bottom. He used Axis but didn't actually get the last hit. So bottom lane is off to a bad start when it comes to the using nukes and not getting last hits is a bad sign.
And top lane also a lot of harassment coming through on the Arms. We've talked about Clockworks and what they work well with. Do you think against this matchup of Crawler and Satoshi on the Mars Mirana, that running at them with battery assault is going to be worth it?
It's tricky, especially when your TA is this low. You can't reliably get much backup in this lane. I see Arms there doing a nice job dodging an arrow, but he's doing what he can, but it just feels like anytime you run in, they're just going to stand their ground and fight, as we're seeing here. Where Crawler... Yeah,
he needs to make sure that he eats if an arrow comes the way of Arms. Luckily, he doesn't have the mana, and it was on cooldown. So Arms going to be passed over a Tango to eat. You do eat the Tango, right? That's the war. Spear, arrow, and Chen. Ooh, he's actually going to die after Crawler dies to Arms.
Or does the Tango allow you to eat the tree? Is it not the tree you're eating?
That's the weird thing. Because if you're eating an entire tree, first of all, that's a lot of fiber.
Yeah. Well, it says you consume a target tree. So the tree is being consumed, which implies eating.
Now, is it some magical stuff where you're taking the life essence from the tree and that's what's gaining you life? You're not actually eating the trunk and the fibers and the... Ooh, arrow. Another fraction off, though, so should be fine. Spear afterwards on Chen, a.k.a. Clockwork, a.k.a. Chen. Very confusing when these players have hero names. There's this guy who plays in China. His name is Phoenix, and he never plays Phoenix.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen Chen play Chen. Maybe one game, actually. I remember, I think Felt picked it one game, but I don't remember if he himself played it or if it was Shu.
That's the worst part, is when they have the hero on their team and the namesake guy isn't playing that hero.
Yep.
Arms is actually outputting a lot of damage. He's just not getting as much CS. He's only 9-6 for the moment to the 16-4 of the Drow bottom. Snow's got a open lane at the moment.
Yeah, this lanes are being stopped. Just the CS right now is insanely one-sided. SF is completely destroying mid lane. Top lane was getting heavily harassed, so that's probably one of the lanes doing better. And then Beastmaster and CM not having quite the time they were hoping for in this bottom lane, where Drow is so far had a free lane, but is getting gone on here.
Ooh, boy.
Getting kind of low.
Snow. Ooh, mango, but good shards. It's salve passed over. That's not going to be a full amount of health, but it will be something to work with.
No. There was a lot of mana being used from the dire side, so even though Drow gets low and doesn't get much value out of the salve, I think you're still okay with it because of the fact that the CM Beastmaster used so many nukes there. They're going to have to bring out more mangoes.
Meanwhile,
or Snow does stay low.
Dying in the top lane. Crawler getting the kill there. Multi-shot. Snow, though, eats a Crystal Nova, and Axe is flying across. Snowball's going to hit the Crystal Maiden. Shu really trying to get the kill on the Snow, as Fade will come around the other side of the trees and throws the axes that are also hitting Issei. So Crawler dies to Chen. This Tusk is in dire need of some health.
Yeah, I think the Drow just stuck around a little bit too long there. You get that low, like you need to either have more regen on the way or even just throw away your life there. But just got to be a little bit too greedy trying to stay in the lane and gets punished for it. That kind of is going to equalize this bottom lane a little bit. Beastmaster going to be really happy with that. But now the question is, what can they do now that Drow's back in lane? And, well, Tusk is still low. Let's say Tusk needs to just go die, and he's going to feed to a tier 2. If they want to win this bottom lane, they need to be healthy. You can't afford to be sticking around when you're in like 20% health. That's how you lose your lane.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the big thing here, though, is the fact that Quap is getting doubled in CS. The experience isn't that bad overall in terms of like how far the Queen of Pain's behind, but definitely the CS is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's been absolute destruction from Kid so far.
Kid
does lose that range creep, but whew. Yeah, seriously. Like, you're getting a stand-in who can dominate mid this hard. It's a good feeling to have for Penguin squad.
Always one of the questions I have, like, what's the easiest position to stand in on?
It does depend team by team. There's definitely been teams in the past where you could say, you know, it is a mid lane because they're kind of just playing by, like, you know, they're by themselves in lane. Like, the synergy between laning partners is important, but I would say that the two easiest to me is mid and 5 position, though. But it's going to differ team to team.
Kid activating haste, and Arms is going to find himself in the hands of Satoshi. But now they need to get the refraction off and land the spear. They don't get the spear to land. The raise is coming into Arms, and now they've got the cogs, the arrow, the raise, the kill for Kid. Taking out the TA, while the Crystal Maiden will drop bottom, and Fade might find the same fate. Axe is thrown at Snow, so not so confident, just kind of standing his ground at the moment.
Gets a boar as well, so some extra golden XP. Fade does have that crown and helm, so has that little bit of extra stats and armor that can help him stick around in this lane and sustain, but until he gets that helm up, this bottom lane will continue to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, who deals with the Helm of the Dominator and Overlord creep the best on this team for Penguin squad, if anyone?
It's not really anyone. Like, heroes like SF and Drow can right-click it, sure. But I think at that point, Beastmaster, you may just have to kind of give up on this bottom lane, especially if there's any kind of Quap rotations, which, given how mid lane went, I think there's a good chance we see Quap just, like, commit to this bottom lane to try to take the tower.
Bottom lane, they've got the silence on Fade, the multi-shot, but here comes the Queen of Pain. Shards aren't going to do anything to save the life of Snow. And they don't have the mana, actually, for the Sonic Wave. While that's happening, the Mirana's getting chased down. They'll get the kill on Issei, and then, well, this Mirana will survive. They go to the arena. Chen will finally die. But Arms is just going to stand in the arena, seeing their ally fall.
Yep. Good rotation from Quap. That's kind of what I was waiting for. It's like she can't just stick around this mid lane while SF's free farming. Slight issue with the timing is it means you're not really contesting these runes. Another power rune goes the way of the SF, who goes from having a haste now to an invis, and his move bottom is going to be by a sentry ward, but it may still be successful.
Yeah, they don't have a level 6. They don't have a primal roar to stop the Shadow Fiend from really getting off this Requiem, and that means there's going to be a fear and some raises. Fade probably dead on his screen already. And that rotation, again, Kid coming over and getting kills in both side lanes after having a pretty dominant mid. They go to the smoke. Chen comes over, and he's got battery assault, but what else does he really have? He's running right into these shots as, oh, good Sonic Wave to get a kill there on a Snow. At least a trade. But still, is that entirely entirely worth it?
Yeah, I mean, you kill the Drow at least, so it's core for support. I think from that aspect, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, it's Sonic Wave's down, but that's the exact kind of use from Sonic Wave this early on you're hoping for. Solji is just going to run back towards the mid lane to keep trying to get some more farm and XP. It's still a tough spot for Felt to be in. They're losing this early game, but kills like that is kind of how you can try and claw your way back in.
Arm's going for the Dragonlance, by the way, on this TA. Not sure the build that you're looking for when you're in a position like this on the Templar Assassin, but I've seen some different builds. I remember it used to be like just Deso first all the time for TAs.
Yeah, I think more recently we've started to see this Dragonlance kind of before Deso become a part of the TA build, at least when Satoshi? TA was kind of meta. Like
he might just die, get run down. Like he stood there, didn't hit the spear, and that was it.
No, Arm showing he's fully capable of and comfortable on the TA. Nice little kind of semi-solo kill.
Yeah, that was weird. Like he just kind of ran up and died like that. And now Kid, he's also in trouble. The arrow dodge is going to be massive here because they'll get the kill. The Requiem in Death doesn't take out Chen. They were waiting maybe for Crawler to come in. He could have swiped one with the Star Storm, but probably gives up his life afterwards if he does that.
Big kills, back-to-back core kills. One on the SF from the Quap is absolutely massive and grabs that double damage rune, so able to, you know, stay full health and ready to kind of make that next big move. Curious to see if there is going to be any pressure on this bottom lane. If it's actually going the other way where they're trying to kill Fade. Fade's yet to be able to kind of get that Beastmaster Helm timing to kind of translate into any kind of tower pressure. And a big part of that is that Penguin squad are just sticking around this bottom lane.
And a weird silver lining of that, though, they're going after Fade constantly, and the TA seems to just have an open game at the moment. So, yeah, you are losing this Beastmaster again here bottom, but it's a lot of resources going towards continuing to shut him down, and Arms is taking full advantage. Like, he's top of the net worth now. He was not having the easiest time in lane.
Yeah. Even Quap almost taking this mid-tier 1 tower. Like, that's a lot of damage on tier 1, and the mid-tier 1's much more important than taking that bottom tier 1. Even though it is a big part of like Beastmaster's impact on the game, being able to take that bottom tower and rotate in the jungle, I do think Penguin Squad have over-prioritized that bottom lane. Shutting down Fade, I know like we on the panel at times, Alex said it too, Fear said like maybe people need to start shutting down Fade more just because he is like in some ways the best player on Felt and the guy that they play around the most, and it seems like Penguin Squad like has that idea and took it to heart, but you know, you kind of can't overly commit to one lane, especially when it's the offlaner, when you're giving like the enemy carry and mid the chance to come back in this kind of fashion.
Hookshot was in on the 2. They've got this Queen of Pain over to the side, but they go to the Moonlight Shadow, and you really don't want to fight without that vision. Again, though, that's resources going while Arms is continuing to farm. He's almost got that first Mithril Hammer for the Deso, picked up after the Dragonlance, and maybe this is finally some time for Fade to kind of have an open lane for himself. He's even hesitant still with nobody down here and a lot of people showing mid that he just does not want to go out too far.
Yeah, he's like, can I do Beastmaster things yet? Maybe, maybe not. Like
pushing?
Usually this is what you do at like 7 or 8 minutes in, but he's now like, he just did like the first damage of the entire game on this tier 1 bottom tower at 12 minutes. That's pretty unheard of, unless his lane got completely stopped. I mean, his lane went badly, but it wasn't like the worst ever. It does look like he may be able to get this tower by himself now. Has the Hawk over the trees, so he knows if anybody TP's in.
Caught the scan.
Let's catch him on the scan, yeah.
I'm wondering if they make the move over. For right now, it's just Arms who's trying to take these stacks, and I understand why. Getting that Deso to decent timing in this game feels like it could be a moment to snowball off of.
Yeah, they smoked down here to try and gank him, which I don't really like this play regardless. Like, even if it connects and you kill Beastmaster, like, you're still losing your tower. Oh, yeah.
Shoo.
That's a CM. That's...
Yeah, but the Dark Troll Summoner took favorites and threw it at the Crystal Maiden. Hook shot onto the Satyr Tormentor. That's not great, but still going after Satoshi. They've got the Battery Assault Spear to push him away. And maybe a
Blink Sonic Wave?
Sonic Wave? That'll get a kill. Yeah. Crawler also going to die here to Fate.
Okay. Nice retaliation. Like, they kind of overcommit on a CM there, and Felt were just ready for that move. They smoked them. Beastmaster was hugging the tower while his creep and boar took the tier 1 bottom. He was at his tier 1, so they knew exactly where Penguin Squad were moving on the map, it seems. Read them like a book, baited the CM, and then retaliated. Could have, it already was a good outcome. Could have been even better maybe if you hit like a hook shot on the SF and kill him there. Just really good understanding as a team of how to punish the movement of Penguin Squad.
Yeah, and they've kind of found their stride, right? So now they're kind of wrapping around, moving, knowing that they've probably nullified the advantage. So they're playing aggressive. That being said, Blink for the Mars with the next arena is going to be nice, so they're probably going to smoke off that.
Yep. And this is item Penguin Squad have really needed and been waiting for to kind of make their next big moves. They can't just keep getting supports with this Mars initiation. They need bigger fish to fry. But losing a lot of map control here. Yeah, wow, TA's farm.
That's crazy.
What?
Just the speed of that, because there was so much attention, like you said, on Fade. They took it to heart, and like they went after him, but he still gets the tier 1 tower. He still has this Home of the Overlord coming out now, which isn't the worst timing. And while doing that, Arms was able to find a full Deso. Like, that's really kind of taking advantage of the map you've got left over.
Yeah, and the lane started very poorly for Arms. I mean, similar story for the Quap, who's really bounced back as well. Both the mid and the carry for Felt have just really recovered fantastically, and now, you know, any pickoff can easily be a free Roshan. Maybe they don't even need the pickoff; they just go straight into Rosh.
Wow. Or maybe they're
nearby.
Getting a fight. This Blink arena could be massive.
Yeah, Penguin Squad's ready for this.
Hook shot. Oh, it's the SF who's invis. Primal Roar, and can they get this? Requiem, though, hits 3 of them to run into the arena.
On the deck.
Aegis going to be picked up by Crawler. They also got the kill on the Radiant side, so they'll take the first life out of the Mirana. Now they'll go over at Arms. Freezing field for some distance. I don't hate it, but I don't really think Shu's getting out anyway. That is not the fight Felt we're looking for, that's for sure. As a snowball now hits, they've got a Walrus Punch. They'll get the kill on the Queen of Pain, and after all this praise, well, that was pretty tragic.
Yeah, they kind of knew roughly where Penguin Squad were on the map anyways and thought they could just waltz on in. When Penguin Squad have okay enough ways to scout it, like you can throw an arrow to see what's going on there. The ice shards as well, disrupting it. And even with Felt having a decent initiation, like that hookshot finding the SF was good, but then once he didn't get caught in the cogs, he was in a great place for that Requiem on the other side of the pit. The fear pushed away Felt from picking up the Aegis as well, which meant Mirana just leapt in and grabbed an Aegis for herself.
Meanwhile, they just got a kill here onto the TA and another one on the Clockwork. Like, that...
Brutal.
All that work from Felt to bring it back and even take an advantage kind of just tossed out the window. That really, wow. That says 84% in favor of Radiant. Pretty high probability. But I guess when you're able to shut down the TA a little bit and stop that snowball, that's what you're really trying to do as a Templar Assassin. I kind of get it. This shard is matching for Drow.
Oh, agreed.
Let's see how this kind of gets out of control. Yeah, right onto the TA. They're a little late on the movement after the TP.
Yep. Hypothermia here definitely has some pretty good value. Let's see what Felt look to do now. It does really feel like so much of, like, you pick Beast TA, like your game plan is around getting first Roshan like really early and trying to take a bunch of towns with it. So the fact they rushed the Roshan, got caught in there, lose the Aegis, completely messes up their entire game plan. They're not out of it for sure though.
Arrow flying in, but Primal Roar will be used, and they will get the kill there onto the Tusk. So they at least get something back, but Felt was evening it up. I'd love to see what the odds are saying, because it feels like Dota Plus saying 84% for Penguin Squad. And, I mean, that is a high percentage for Penguin Squad. So once those odds do show up on the screen, I kind of want to see what... I've had this question a lot, like, what would make me a good odds maker? Because I see, like, just like Dota Plus has its hero favorites, a la Spectre, like dead even right now. And I guess based on how well the team is in Felt, but how well Penguin Squad are doing, that makes a little bit of sense.
Exactly. Like, I think Penguin Squad position is like the fact they're ahead here. Like, Felt's draft is meant to be ahead, and then it's like 50-50. But I think the odds are making it more even, because obviously Felt, you know, their track record, they pulled off many games that have been, you know, hard to win games.
Chen in some trouble.
Yeah.
An arrow and spear gonna make it hard to leave or survive.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I would say like if these two teams were exactly evenly skilled, like this game in its current position is like 75-25 for me in Penguin Squad's favor. I think the fact that, you know, Felt are who they are and they've, you know, been absolutely crushing it in Div 2 makes it a lot more even.
Question is, do they have the ability to kind of come back in this one? And I know they have the heroes to do so, I would say, especially like TA. You never know when one fight can just kind of blow up in your face, especially after this BKB gets finished. But Helm of the Overlord, like picking up this Ancient Thunderhide is one of those things like maybe they take the attention now it's on the TA and Beastmaster has his time to push out these lanes.
Yeah, I think there's going to be quite a bit of split pushing going on. Felt don't really want to fight head on to the team fight of like Mars, SF, and what they bring to the table. They really need to play around their own BKB timings as well. Like, I think particularly the TA, but even the co-op, like these two heroes desperately need BKB if they want to be able to take a team fight against, you know, Mars, Task Morana. Even Drow Silence is starting to have a bigger and bigger impact on these fights. So BKBs are just essential now.
And Drow Silence only level 2 at this point, but level 4, that's 6 seconds, is a long time to be quiet. That is really rough. Only a 3K lead. I think next Roche is going to be very important.
Yep.
And especially when you talk about these TA lineups, I feel like they're similar to Urza lineups. First Roche is important, but if you don't get the second one, you're probably not winning the game.
Yeah. At that point, I think, yeah, it's almost like 90-10 over. Definitely losing the first one, I think, dramatically impacted their game plan. Like, they'd be able to take a lot more towers, and they're also now getting picked up off one by one. From one support to the next.
Yeah, the clockwork I think was fine, but when you're losing multiple supports and again giving up a lot of map to the Penguin squad, like that is making it harder for your cores to feel comfortable moving out past their Riverside. Almost have BKB on TA. I think that one's obviously the most important. Queen of Pain wants theirs as well, but still a lot of gold to get to that point.
Yeah. Problem is they're going to have BKBs, and by then Penguin Squad's going to have their next round of items. Like Drow SF don't really care about BKBs too much. Like they're still, you still have to get BKB here. It's just these two right clickers will just kind of bypass and ignore them. But it's a similar thing with Tefal. Like we see SF. Well, he had a BKB queued up. It looks like he's going to change his mind, which I kind of like. I was going to say, like, I don't actually think they need to prioritize BKB on Shadow Fiend and Drow. Maybe one of the two, but like just getting more right click damage to win the kind of BKB battle is a decent option.
Going up high ground, this is a bit risky.
Bold.
With Roche so far away, it's not the worst thing if you lose like a hero here or there, but at the same time, again, like it's giving openings to Fade. Like I talked about him getting tier 2 top. He got that. Now he's going tier 2 bottom, and he's put a lot of pressure on this. That means the outpost is available, and Felt are like sneakily getting more of the map than they should be allowed to.
Yep, exactly. Like you get stalled out with your push because, you know, they spam a wave, then glyph the next wave, and suddenly you've just given up a tier 2 bottom tower if you're not careful. So I think trying to poke at high ground is not what they should be doing. They should be trying to hunt these heroes who are getting greedy, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Arms. Oh, they're picking it. They know where he is.
Oh, the Requiem. Oh, stops it. Silence, hook shot comes in, stops it even longer. Now the snowball pulls everybody in. TA hit with that hypothermia, goes back into the meld. Dust is going to come out. They'll get the kill on the arms. The spear's going to land. It's on a Chen, and it'll be 2 heroes dead. They do catch the TA, who just got that BKB, but it's a bit too late. I think that was getting BKB because of the grave.
Yeah, TA, you know, was just not really there when the high ground poke was happening, was farming Ancients, trying to just get that last bit of gold. And SF with that 6th sense, knowing, you know, that inner carry player of SF was like, okay, I know where this TA is hiding. She doesn't have a blink to get away. She, you know, the fact we can't see her means she's hiding somewhere in Meld, and baits her out with the Requiem fake pump. So nicely done by Kid, and they're going to just go from one tower to the next. It really feels like Roshan is just Penguin squads here, unless Felt make a really bold move here. They will have Hawks for vision. And with Roche respawning in 10 seconds, this is a disaster for Felt if they don't contest and ideally get Aegis for themselves.
Satoshi's going to die. That's a big marker on that because he was the Blink Arena. That's what makes things a little bit difficult. Queen of Pain gets caught for a second. They've got the Walrus Punch. Shoe over to the side. Frostbite. But Kid coming over has that Manta. They've also got Snow. They have the Silence. It's onto the Queen of Pain. They get both.
Wow. Great silence. That's why they need these BKBs. It's like they're not going to help against all the right-click damage that SF and Drow are pumping out, but you just die when you can't use your mobility. If you get caught in any kind of a silence or, Tusk snowball with an arrow follow-up, there's just so many things that can chain stun you.
Got a Rocket Flare on this, so they do see Kid kind of coming through, but...
I'm not sure what they do here, though.
5v3.
They have DDTA, but... Yep, they split push. They looks like they're just going to give it up. I mean, at this point, if you're Felt, you're playing it for the long haul. You've missed your timing completely, and you're going to try to find a way to go late game.
Arena, and there's a Silence.
Okay.
Because Arms has that shard, so that is going to be now the BKB. He's going to try and output that damage. The Meld Strike, the right click, not enough to kill Satoshi. And now here comes Snow onto the high ground with that Hurricane Pike. Meld Strike lands, kills off Crawler. They've got the Silence again to the top. And oh, the side blades are splashing, and this is a problem. But Kid coming over, no more BKB for Arms. The Silence, the Requiem, the kill, and that is really all the damage taken out of the hands of Felt.
TA did all she could there to dish out 7,000. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, DDTA, and they kind of trickled in one by one, so it wasn't like they were bursting TA from full to nothing inside like a Mars Arena. The fact she had BKB meant, she reliably got to do a lot of damage, but even so, the fight still doesn't quite go the way Felt were hoping. Losing your carry, just killing, supports is not a good outcome for them. Also, while that's going on, Kid did manage to snag himself the Aegis, as well as the Ag Shard, so this game just continues to go from bad to worse when it comes to Felt and their ability to try and take game one here.
This is becoming an issue. Their comeback path is now looking strictly like high ground defense.
Yep, I agree. I think their ability to go out and make plays on the map is so hard, and the problem is that means you're just giving up Roshan. So it's a 7k gold lead. If Penguin Squad want to play it safe and not risk high ground, they just slow roll things, like play the map, outfarm your opponents, turn a 7k gold lead into a 15k gold lead, 20k gold lead. You've got SF Drow. These heroes can get massive. They can very safely and slowly siege high ground as well, just by poking at towers with Aegis. And yeah, kill after kill seems to be the name of the game.
Activated the Necromastery, so the fear stops the TP. Chen's gonna die.
Nice.
That's unfortunate.
Very, very nicely done by Kid, using that shard. And they're going to poke a high ground here. I don't know if you can easily take a Rex here. You've got Co-op on the far top side of the map just trying to cut waves, but there's a Siege Wagon here, and Glyph will be used, and it looks like Radiant don't have a way to... Well, they did have a Glyph as well. They could have maybe kept their creep wave alive, but they opt not to, and they still have some time to get at least a tier 3 tower here.
That's a change I'd like to see. Backdoor being a little bit quicker.
I don't mind. You should, to me, they should get rewarded a little bit for, they're the ones who got an Aegis, and they're punish teams for, avoiding fighting you. Oh, swinging and a miss. Just a CM too. That's very bold to try and arena CM, but I think that just says Penguin Squad are they're not fighting us. If I can kill a CM with arena, sure, why not? We're not going to take any fights anytime soon. They're just trying to split push and cut waves. The entire Felt strat right now is just to avoid fighting for 20 minutes and just try and farm without getting picked off. Problem is that's a very difficult way to play Dota.
Yeah, they want the Silver Edge on Arms. They're picking up a Shivas on Queen of Pain as well as a BKB next on the Beastmaster. They really haven't put together the control that they offer in this lineup. I haven't really seen the Primal Roar with the freezing field and it hasn't all been there at all. Chen's actually going to have his smoke broken. 4 staff out of the high ground with the Necromastery, 4 right clicks, and a godlike streak for Kid.
Felt had 5 heroes there, but they don't want to go to SF. He has Aegis. They go on him, they probably just all die. They're trying to find Drow. I think they saw Drow farming bottom, so they were running at the Drow, but they just couldn't quite get there. Instead, they may find Crawler, but even he's on an easy kill.
He's got 3 leaps.
Yeah.
And a 4 staff.
And a 4,
Guardian Greaves.
They may just get team wiped here. They need to get a good initiation.
They want the Drow Snowball to stop that. Oh, blew off Crawler, and that is at least something. Right clicks from Arms over to the side. That's going to be the Tusk dying too with the Mirana. Silence Got 50 seconds on this Aegis. They catch the Queen of Pain and needs to get out. Blinks away. Silence through. Snow's gone to Chen. This is going well for Felt somehow.
Yep. 2v5.
I almost want to say they're leaving Kid alive because he's got this Aegis and they know they want to kill him afterwards. But Satoshi's going to die here.
Yeah, Kid just TP'd out. He's like, this fight's lost. Great play somehow from Felt. It looked like, you know, it's not like the least clean smoke kind of wraparound you'd ever seen. Like they smoke up, they go for a wraparound, they run into the well, Clockwork runs into the SF, just dies. Like mid 5-man smoke, they lose one of those 5 heroes and they don't go on the SF. They just keep running past him and say, okay, take out Clockwork. And then eventually they get a full on wraparound and somehow manage to just instantly jump some of these supports, killing the supports, and then eventually getting the Drow because, you know, she didn't take the Aegis. So just somehow that Felt make that wraparound work. I did not see it going that way. I thought they were about to get team wiped.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Mars's line who says, fight me, but Shadow Fiend kind of stood there the entire fight and was like, guys, you gonna fight me? No, yeah. I guess not. Oh, Enchanted Quiver for the TA.
Yeah, it's a nice item to have always.
Has both of them. Apparently stole one. Both teams got the drop. Only one team's benefiting from them.
Somehow that happened.
I want to say it's probably off a Requiem in a team fight.
I can see it. But yeah, definitely signs of life from Felt. They're only down 3k gold now. You see what the TA can do. And the big issue for SF and Drow is they do somewhat rely on their like Mars and Tusk to lock people down in order for them to right-click and do damage. So if you can take out the supporting cast, avoid the SF and Drow during their BKBs in these fights, especially SF when he has Aegis, you don't have to avoid him anymore. If you can blow him up now, he's a literal pinata with, taking him out. He's the big damage dealer that you almost want to be blowing up first, but we'll see if they take that approach or if they avoid fights a little bit longer.
Despite the fact that the net worth lead is kind of even and the experience lead actually even going over towards Felt, the the win probability still says 87% for Penguin Squad.
Okay. I think their draft is just meant to scale way better. Heroes like TA aren't really ideally played going super late game. Even like the Co-op, the Beastmaster, they went very much for this early mid-game tempo draft where they wanted to win this game by 30 minutes. So they really should be Penguin Squad in the late game. You can see here, they're just walking high ground. No Aegis, they don't care. That's how confident and how strong a position Kid is with regards to their team. Here comes Felt, though. Ooh.
By the way, Fade's taking the tier 3 mid.
Yeah, bit of a interesting time for a pause because now teams get to really discuss like, okay, do we fight? Do we push? What's going on? Do we bring Beastmaster back? He won't have his creep.
Everybody got to discuss except for Crystal Maiden, who was dead. The Arena, the Primal Roar, that comes out of the Drow. They get the kill on a Chen. They're going to look over as the Sonic Wave hits onto the Mars as well as the Drow. Force Staff forward. Frostbite. Meanwhile, the Rax mid are starting to take some heavy damage from the Helm of the Overlord creep. They've got some Sideblade splash damage. They get the kill there onto the Drow. They're going to look over as they've got this, Moonlight Shadow to try and work with, but they'll lose the Tusk. They've lost the Drow. They both don't have buyback, and that's sort of a defense, but now you're left to one set of Rax and a half set top. Oh, you did take half a set mid.
Yeah, just the range Rax, but still something. They lost melee Rax top, so the important one going down. Definitely not a unwinnable position. They're just going to charge forward. They did kill the Drow, so 40 seconds with no Drow. If they get a fast Roche respawn or something, they could maybe even get themselves Roshan here, but Kid, what's he doing? He's really close to them.
Oh, over Seal Totem and a
Roaring 2. Okay. That was very scary for him, and they have a haste on TA, yeah.
The arrow hit the Beastmaster. Roche is a minute away, benefiting Penguin Squad, because I think just having everybody is really going to make this still tough for Felt.
It would have had to be a super fast, like under 20-second respawn for Felt to be able to capitalize and take Roche. So they were really hoping for that, 20 seconds or less respawn. It's unlikely, and they're not going to get it. But Penguin Squad have to push out quickly. They may go for, smoke here. They need to get on the map. They don't know about that Roche respawn timer. They don't want to give Felt the ability to kind of set up and position and posture themselves to kind of secure that Roche fight. TA traps in the pit. They need to kind of delete some of these, take away the vision, get your own vision, and really set yourselves up for a good
He's going to break the smoke, but now can they go?
That's good, though.
Shot. Oh, avoided the blink.
Okay.
That was the Blink Arena, and he's going to miss the Spear. Freezing Field, BKB, over to the side. They go to the Requiem.
Okay.
And that will mean that Shu is dead, but that's Arena. That's Requiem already used on the BKB from Satoshi, so they'll go to the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to blink it with the BKB as well as the Primal War. They go to the Walrus Punch. It's onto the Beastmaster. Arms trying to do the damage, but they've got the Snowball to pull in. The Sonic Wave, it hits on 3 of these heroes. Now they're going to go in with Crawler dying and Issei falling. Side Blades, the damage is done. Satoshi's dead, and Snow and Kid trying to salvage. Chen, he'll fall. The buyback comes in from Satoshi. They get the Cone of Fate. It's a lot of damage coming in from Kid now. Arms looking for an opportunity. Snow staying a while, but he's got a gem, so you need to be careful about where you put yourself.
Just gets the cheeky quiver hit off. Trying to get some extra free damage in.
Too, and it has Refresher.
Yeah. They're buying back on the Penguin squad side. Maybe they saw Roshan. They want to go for it. Yep. Snow gets right into the pit here, and he's the one holding that gem now. So with a 2v4, I don't know if Felt
BKB
can get in there.
Yeah, they
can scout it out with a trap, but
he's gonna try. I mean, this kill onto Satoshi's not nothing. He bought back in the last fight. The Snowball's not even gonna reach Arms, so he's able to make a little bit of a shift. He's got the trap to get the silence on Issei, then gets Invis again with that Silver Edge.
And he's looking to turn around.
Oh,
Cade walks right into him, though.
This is such a
the sentry. He didn't know about there was an observer plus sentry kind of scouting him, walking right. Yeah, the observer on the high ground and the sentry in the river meant he was just walking right into enemy vision. He's thinking, okay, as long as I avoid the drow and don't walk into the gem, I'm fine, but completely caught by surprise because of one sentry.
Beastmaster up in 6. They have glyphs, so they're not going to immediately lose their buildings, but they need to be careful. Kid's got the Aegis. He's going to pop that Manta, and now he's got that Necromancery hit. With the Fear, hook shot comes across, hits the Drow as well as the Shadow Team, but Quap's dead. They got the buyback coming out of the Quap. They go to the Requiem. That's going to land on the TA. The right click's coming in from Snow. That's going to put a couple of shots of the Hypothermia in on him. Refresher, Silence. Not going to do it. They'll get at least the Megas. Now you've got to fight up against Megas, and you've used your buybacks. This is not feeling good anymore.
Yeah. Kid just prioritized objectives there. The AC on the Shadow Fiend giving even more minus armor, has the presence aura affecting buildings as well, so they get the kill. Every time this Quap, like, you know, she kind of blinks in and to do scream damage and stuff, she just gets chunked at. She just can't afford to blink in, even with an AC giving bonus armor. Feels like she almost needed like a Ghost Scepter or something this game, or an E-Blade type build, because the right-click damage is just overwhelming her. And the same thing to the buildings with Mega Creeps now. That really puts Penguin Squad in the driver's seat. They can go for that killing blow soon, or if they want to play things safe, you know, just slow roll it. But realistically, the pressure is on Felt to make something happen now.
Felt have to like massively team wipe. I mean, there is no buybacks
multiple
available.
Times.
So that's at least like if they do win this fight, I think they are able to push pretty heavily, but it's not going to work well without Chen. Hook shot, trying to get away, gets the cogs down, but the damage again from the SF is just too much. Kid, he's at critical mass.
There's been multiple times this Necromancery Fear is like it stopped at Freezing Field, it stopped at TP. It's getting a lot of value out of this shard.
Oh boy, Shu is gonna die here. They've got buyback available on the Clockwork.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep. Looks like Felt just gonna maybe. They are going. TA is behind enemy lines, like thinking, "Oh, do I cut some waves? Do I try to jump the back lines?" And you got to go on something. They're going for tier 4s.
Decision before your whole base is dead.
Has a rapier queued up. That's what she was trying to do, but doesn't have the gold for it. About 1,400 gold short.
Oh, that was the roar on the Lincolns. That feels awful, and I think that might just cost them the game. They lose the TA. They'll call GG, and Penguin Squad take game number 1 over second place Felt.
Big upset. Big upset. You can see the tips on the SF. They know Kid really showed up this game. He absolutely just...